Hello, this is Johnny Cycles with CyclesGaming.com, bringing you another edition of Dragons in Modern. Sure. This is actually a fine hand for us. It's much better than what I've seen. We're in the Neriv Heart of the Storm deck, but more or less playing a mono red, what you've seen me play in the past, Sark and Magda treasure deck, Magmatic Hellkite at the 4-drop slot. And Neriv um, has the ability to attack with haste via a couple different ways, whether it be Arena of Glory or Lava Spur Boots. I guess we'll just get the Blood Crypt. Play a Ragavan. But largely it's just a value 4-drop, 4/5 that might close out the game if we follow up with a Glorybringer. Man, we've seen a lot of mountains this morning. Lightning Bolt, cool. That is acceptable. A lot of fetch lands. A lot of fetch lands. Hopefully we're not playing burn. If we are, the Neriv might actually be pretty decent. Especially if we can end up following up with anything to give it any hasty threat. Yeah, so we've seen some of the clunkiness of this deck where we end up with the Urza Saga half of it with big dragons are not getting enough, not finding any sort of tribal flames, huh? Removal when we have removal in the deck. I mean, granted it's only 2 fatal pushes, but still, sometimes you're just like, give me. Alright, so we don't need to shock ourselves any more than we already have. We can get next turn if we want. Alright, turn 3 Neriv, 4/5 flyer, can't attack. Is it going to be good enough? Seems unlikely. We do have a fatal push if this is some sort of domain zoo deck that is running very few basic or non-basics currently. We also have a lot of live draws. Anything but Glorybringer we can play. I guess anything but Glorybringer in Neriv. Fatal push. Fighting through some, slogging through some removal. We finally have some removal of our own. Damping Sphere. Interesting. So that's a main deck hate against the field. We are not the field. Another fatal push. Bring in the beats. Unless they have a fatal push themselves. Oh man. Okay. Well, we'll set up our draw, I guess. This is the kind of removal or hand we wanted against the last deck we played, which was a kind of Golgari low to the ground Goyf deck. So this tells me it's definitely domain. Looking to, man, Magmatic Hellkite would be so good against us, right? Or good for us right now. 12 mana, 4/4. Okay, that's fine. Magmatic Hellkite, please. Do we ship a land if we find one on the top? Because we will need another one eventually. I mean, we just can't risk it. Get our hits in while we can, because if they do play their ley line next turn, we're gonna not be able to attack anymore, and the blocking won't happen, right? Because we'll have hexproof if it's blue, vigilance, lifelink, first strike, trample. Man, they are they're really up against Destroy target non-creature artifact with mana value X. Yeah, I thought about this card. It's good. They're really hating against affinity, it would seem like. Good for them. I like your style. Definitely don't want another land at this point. We found our lands. So much. We just, yeah, I mean, this is where the lack of any meaningful card draw really hurts. This would have been a Glorybringer for the win type of thing had we found it. Alright, the race is on. And we'll fatal push that. Because this puts us on back to a 3-turn clock. I mean, sure. Dead. Alright, well, we were going to win on our turn, but man, that was painful. Holy cow. Pillage in. Thoughtseize, I guess, can be in. Fatal pushes were okay, but I mean, they're not a bad card against our opponent, depending on what they actually play. Ragavan, we'll just do our trimming again. Our one-ofs of things. Magmatic Hellkite's really good. Glorybringer, alright, well, that's what we got. I mean, Thoughtseize might not be might not be where we want to be at, but getting a Scion out of their hand. See, Leyline. Okay, well, we have things to do, including pillaging their first land. And multiple ley lines. Congratulations, opponent. We do not have an answer for your enchantment. So then this keeps them from ever having to crack a fetch, which makes us sad. Get rid of their basic land that taps for a mana of any color. Next turn we can strike it rich, I guess, and then follow it up with either Magmatic Hellkite or Glorybringer. Or we can do that. That's also acceptable. So, strike it rich. Do we want to strike it rich? No. So I think what we're doing here, leyline binding, sure. The 1 mana removal spell. They must have more than one. I played the Elegant Parlor instead of fetching for one, just because, I don't know, Fatal Push, fetch land, sometimes that's what you need. Urza Saga could be good. So I assume they have another leyline, and they're short on mana, but I assume they have another leyline binding, and that's why they kept the hand they did. The thing about that Verdant Catacombs is they can crack it in response, and then they still get the benefit. No matter what, they're going to get the benefit, but leyline binding number 2. Yeah, I mean, you don't keep a one-lander unless you have a lot of this type of thing. So we're definitely going to Magmatic Hellkite and try to swing in and blow this up. Try to, at least. Although, you know, the Urza Saga plan is tempting, given that our opponent... Alright, so 1, 2... spent to cast a creature spell. I think we're just going to go all in on the Urza Saga plan and try to sandbag some cards, because our opponent's missing land. They have a handful of stuff, so they're eventually going to find something. Cleansing Wildfire. Sure. Go ahead and make that. Our lowly 1/1. I mean, of all the decks we should be good against, this is one of them. Magmatic Hellkite is on top. So I'm going to go ahead and give this haste because of the leyline binding, so we'll get at least a hit in. I should have... Can I undo that? Balls. I should have picked the fetch land. For all the reasons I've already said. Leyline binding number 3. Sure. Again, you don't keep a one-lander without... So they must... I mean, they kept it because of this. I mean, look at that. Disgusting board state. Do we Ragavan just to steal something? That's tempting. It's very tempting. To get a treasure, 1, 2, but we're not going to. We're going to... That's the greedy play. We will blow up the Verdant Catacombs. Keep them on 1 mana, although again it taps for any color, so it's not even going to hurt them that bad. We're playing some throwback decks. We played a Living In deck, which was totally different than any Living In deck I've ever played until they sideboarded into Crashing Rhinos. And we played a... now we're playing like a Domain Zoo deck, which does not look much like Domain Zoo. Cleansing Wildfire, sure. They're more geared against the field of Affinity and Eldrazi. So I think we might win here if our opponent doesn't have like a Solitude. It's like land destruction versus land destruction. Our opponent kept a very aggressive. Makes sense. I would have kept that probably. Double leyline. It's a Temple Garden. Alright. Yeah, we got there, so good for us. No, I mean, our opponent kept a 1-lander, but they had 3 removal spells and 2 ley lines. I mean, that's why you keep that hand. I'm not going to feel sorry for him. Nor am I going to say we won because of that. They didn't draw a land for a while, which I guess you can't have it all, deck. Sometimes opponent, you can't have it all. Keeping your 3 leyline binding plus that other leyline of whatever, the guild pack. I guess we just run it back. Do we want any other ways? I mean, we are both trying to hate on the meta with our card choices and sideboard plan. Alright, well, we will keep it. We can Thoughtseize, or maybe we'll probably have to Thoughtseize now because of the leyline. See what horror awaits us, because keep a snap, keep leyline is double scion of Draco. That's cool. We do have ways of destroying it if we can find a pillage. And a leyline binding, why wouldn't you want to have it all? What a hand from our opponent. 2 lands, a leyline of the guild pack, and 2 scions of Draco. Oh, man. I don't think we can win. It has hexproof. I don't think we can come back from that, as sad as it is. 4/4, first strike, hexproof. Vigilance. Yeah, I mean, that's... you build a deck so that you can get some free wins, I guess. And this would be a free win from our opponent. We'll play it out a little bit, but... I mean, the lifelink... the double scion is brutal. But yeah, I mean, this is why you play the deck. It has hexproof, so we can't even... There's no way we can answer it with what's in our deck. We don't have any enchantment hate. We are left hoping to race it, and they're already way ahead on board, so... With a leyline. And a lightning bolt. And they go for the treasure, because, the Ragavan isn't going to do anything. Yeah, I mean, sometimes you get got by the broken nature of Modern. For Johnny Cycles and cyclesgaming.com, thanks for watching.